Hello and welcome back to the Wisdom of Odin. Today I just have an update video for you with the non-profit as well as the Wisdom of Odin to some degree, and kind of just fill you in on how the progress is going towards fundraising for the hall, what we're doing as far as the community, upcoming events, and all that good stuff. But first off, I need to have just a moment here. As of recording right now, today, August 12th, so this is going to come out later, August 12th is the 3-year anniversary of the Wisdom of Odin YouTube channel. When I went back and looked at my first video, I cannot believe how far it's come. That first video just feels like a lifetime ago at this point, and I think I've made over 275 videos now on this channel, getting well over several million views at this point or something like that. It's absolutely insane. So thank you all so very much for the last 3 years, all the love, all the support, and of course watching these videos, and to all the people that support this channel on Patreon that ensure I'm able to do this full time. Thank you all so very much. But other than that, I want to talk about community stuff because we got some very exciting news from the US government. Normally you don't get exciting news from the US government, but we received our confirmation from the IRS that the Fellowship of Northern Traditions is officially considered a church under the eyes of the IRS. Now, normally I would say church, and I don't think that would be considered a good thing in a heathen community, but this is just the legal definition that the US government uses for religious organizations. So you have two different types of religious nonprofits. You have religious organizations and you have churches. They're very similar, but in order to be a religious church, you have to basically prove to the government that your religion is real, or at least you believe your religion is real. So I actually had it printed off here for you so you could see it. So like one of the things that we had to do is they have these 14 points that you have to follow in order to be considered a church in the eyes of the US government. So here's the 14 points. It's several pages long, like basically a small essay that I had to type up with the help of the leadership in the community and send that off to the government. And then they basically went through these points. A lot of the things are, how do you train clergy? What are your holy books? What are your deities? What are your religious holidays? And all these things. And then someone from the government read through these things along with other application process things, much like our, oh gosh, what did I put it here? Right here, our bylaws. Like we had to write our bylaws as well. So there was a lot of paperwork here, which is why we had the first GoFundMe last year around October, November, and we asked for around $5,000 in order to pay for this lawyer in order to make sure that we could do these things properly. And I definitely think that paid off. So to everyone that gave that first GoFundMe that was completed in 8 hours, it really helped. I mean, the fact that we were able to get accepted fairly quickly, honestly. I mean, this is something that was going to be a long process. We started the process and were incorporated in November, and then here now in August we were accepted as a legitimate church. Now we have been a nonprofit since January. It's just we were like a nonprofit waiting the decision by the US government or something like that. So we've been a nonprofit since January, but we have been waiting for some time now for this church status. So really exciting that we got that church status. And it's exciting because it's not exactly the US government saying that the heathen gods are real, but it's them acknowledging that our belief system is legitimate, or at least how we portrayed it to them was legitimate as well. And we're not the first to do this. We're not the first to do this for a heathen or a pagan group. There have been various groups throughout the last 40 or 50 years that have gotten this status, but it is a big deal. I mean, like our nonprofit lawyer, this is the first case that he ever had like this, and he was really excited. And I think we actually gave him something very unique to talk about as far as signing us up for a nonprofit, especially a religious one. So we're definitely not the first to do it, but we're one of the few. There are not many groups that have received this status, and any number of groups that get this status as far as like, a religious nonprofit that is also a church that is pagan, that is great. It's just showing that paganism is slowly becoming more accepted in the common eye. So this is a really good step, and we're just all really excited. Now, as far as benefits, there's not like a massive amount of benefits to it outside of tax exemption, which we would have under the nonprofit as well. We don't have to file much like Christian churches do. So we're on the same level as the Christian churches when it comes to that. So I guess that's kind of cool. But one of the big things is that we're actually able to perform legal weddings like right out the gate. So essentially all the leadership in our community, I think we have like 16 or so fellowship leaders now. All of them are legally ordained in the United States. Even our international ones technically are ordained through us, but that's a whole nightmare as far as like international stuff when it comes to that. But all of our fellowship leaders can perform weddings legally here in the United States. They basically have our blessing, and that's kind of really all they need. We can give them a piece of paper saying they can do it. Every state's going to be slightly different, but yes, all of our leadership is now ordained to perform weddings. So we have been talking about this as far as the leadership, and what we kind of settled on is if you want to get married at one of our gatherings and you're a member of our community, then it's free. Just come and we'll perform the wedding there, because this is what weddings would have been in the past as far as a pagan folk religion, is they would have been very small. They wouldn't have been these massive expensive things that weddings have become. And so if you just want to get married at one of our events, just make sure you let us know ahead of time. Send us an email, fellowship of northern traditions at gmail.com, and just let us know, and we'll figure a way to work that into a ritual. It's not going to be a massive thing, and a lot of it's going to depend on what you want to bring to the table, but we'll definitely help you perform a ceremony and legally get you married as well. Now, if you do want to actually have us come to one of your weddings, come to an event, you just want a pagan officiant, we'll do that as well, but there will be a small fee tied to that. So if you are interested, once again, send us an email and we'll try to work something out. Again, there's only so many of the leadership, so we'll do our best to accommodate when people reach out to us. But for the most part, we'll be doing hand fastings, but we are open to other options. And we just want to make sure people know that there's an option out there for pagan wedding officiants. The other thing to mention here is, since we are officially now a church recognized, an IRS recognized church, all of our donations going all the way back to January basically are now considered tax write-offs for anyone that gave them. So if you have given us any donations since around January, then any donations that you've given, you can now claim as a tax exemption as a charitable donation. So make sure, you should have gotten a receipt from GoFundMe, since that's what we use. You can use that on your taxes the coming year, even going back when we first applied to be a nonprofit. Sadly, when we received the first GoFundMe, that was before we were an official incorporated organization. So sadly, the first GoFundMe that we did does not count, but anything after that does. So I hope that's an incentive a little bit. Again, there's not a lot of benefits. It's just more of an exciting accomplishment. It's a big step in a series of steps in order to get the hall, in order to get the land, a big step in order to make sure this organization lasts for lifetimes to come, hopefully. Now, I do want to transition a little bit over here to the community website to kind of fill you in on some of the things that are going on here. So right now, you're looking at is the community website you've hopefully looked at before, but if you do want to attend one of our events, this is the hub. This is where you go. I mean, right when you get to the website here, the first thing you're going to see is the events. We've had almost, I think, 16 or 15 events this year. By the end of this year, we'll have had 20 events around the world, because we actually recently celebrated 2 events internationally in the Netherlands and in England. We are looking to have 2 more events there internationally again this year, possibly 3, one possibly in South Africa, which is crazy. But yeah, so if you actually want to go to one of our events, it's really simple. We really designed this website for the events. We've been really active on here, and I think that's just an important thing to show you. We didn't just create this website and run away. This is the hub. This is where the community exists for the most part. Other than that, I do want to mention here, as far as the support, a couple things. We are going to have a couple more t-shirts come out here. We have one idea we're working on for seasonal t-shirts. For every season, we're going to create a t-shirt that is only available for a limited time. For now, we still just have the normal Fellowship of Northern Traditions t-shirt. Everyone that buys these things, seriously, you don't understand how much these help out. Everyone that purchases something from this website and just wants to support the brand, this just ensures that we're able to run. I mean, like a good example of it, like a PO box. PO boxes are around $200 a year, and our website is I think over $100 a year, and a few other things. There's just a lot of small costs to this. Now let's talk about the GoFundMe that we launched a few months ago. It's been doing really well. We're so happy. Like, everyone that has given to this is absolutely incredible. We've had some truly generous people give to this. That 12,674 is absolutely incredible. And again, this is something that we know is going to take some time, and it's also something that we have to be very fluid and organic with. If you want, watch the full video here. We talk about that. We talk about a lot of the details and understanding that this is going to kind of change based on what we can find. We would love to find a piece of land that has, at least 20 to 30 acres, has water and electric hookups already, but that's obviously at that $150,000 range. Now, once we get around 20 or 30, or maybe even around 15, we might find something that works. And so we're really keeping our options open. We're really looking around, seeing what the land prices are like. We want to make sure we get a good deal, and we make sure that this land is future proof. Like one of the examples that we have to constantly look out for is sold mineral rights, especially here in Kentucky. If someone sold the mineral rights to land, it's completely worthless, basically, because anytime someone come through and say, "Hey, I need to mine coal on your land," your hall's on my coal field, so we're gonna have to take that down. So it's just one of those things where we have to be very cautious. We're taking our time, but we're keeping our options open. So if you do want to help us here at the GoFundMe, it really does mean a lot, and it really does ensure that this hall gets built. I mean, it will. We know it's going to get built. It's just a matter of time, and the only thing in question is the matter of time. So if you want to help accelerate that process in getting land of our own so we can build our own structure, so we can build stone circles, that's what I want to do. After I've seen stone circles in Scotland and I've been inside of cairns and all these things, we need land so we can build stone circles, because that's going to be so cool. I mean, a hall is great and we want to build a hall, but also just building some stone circles, some ritual spaces, that's something we're really excited for. So if you want to see me get really excited about some stone circles that we built, and then of course building of the hall as well, please go to the GoFundMe on our website here and think about donating. Seriously, it's amazing how much we've received so far. Everyone is amazing, and thank you for anyone that chooses to support us here on GoFundMe. Now, having said that, we're not relying 100% on GoFundMe or Teespring in order to get income for the nonprofit. We do have a few ideas in the works here, including a recipe book, a ritual book, and possibly a calendar that we'll be releasing over the next 6 months, 8 months or so. We're moving pretty good along with a recipe book that we'll release, and of course those funds will go into, probably, we haven't discussed the specific details, so I'm not saying this 100%, but we'll probably split 50-50. 50% of that will go actually into the GoFundMe, go into savings for the hall land, the other 50% probably into checking for the normal everyday operations. And so we're really excited, so definitely keep an eye out. We'll be putting those on the website, of course. So we definitely have the books coming out. We're gonna have new t-shirts design coming here. We have a really fun design for the end of the year, so really looking forward to showing that with you. And also, we have a pretty crazy idea that I have in my mind right now. We're still very much working on the details of this, but next summer we may try to do a Viking style market where we have, like, booths and vendors and people to sell food, and have like a week-long event with rituals and celebrations and big bonfires. But that's definitely at the idea stage right now. But the idea stage tends to come to reality when it comes to the Wisdom of Odin, the Fellowship of Northern Traditions, because here we are talking about the hall. So yeah, it probably will happen, but just definitely bear with us. We have a lot of cool things coming. We really just want to make sure you understand that this group is definitely not stagnant. We're going full steam ahead. We're having events. We're spreading the message about the community. We're going to have free events, making books, raising money to buy land to build a hall on. There's so much going on, and that's really what I want to end this video on, is just taking a moment to thank all the leadership in this community. Thank them all so very much. Truly, none of this would be possible without the amazing team that I work with. All the fellowship leaders and the people coming up through training right now, you all are absolutely incredible. Thank you so very much for the support. Every single day. I love you guys. This would not be as an enjoyable if it wasn't for all of you. It's not easy running a community. It's really not. Anyone that's ever tried online or in person, it's not easy. And so to have all these amazing people stand beside you as you figure things out together and face these challenges, it makes it all so much more worth it. So to all the leadership out there, thank you so very much. You guys are absolutely incredible, and none of this would be possible without all of you. But also wouldn't be possible without all of you and the people that watch the Wisdom of Odin, the people that have supported this journey since I first came onto the YouTube sphere and started talking about going outside and this is what religion should be, and making mistakes along the way and learning a lot, and making some videos that I'm truly proud of, but also making some videos that I do not like, but they're still very popular somehow. So truly, what a journey it has been. 3 years of the Wisdom of Odin, 2 years of community gatherings, and now only a few days of being an official church recognized religion in the United States. Truly incredible. Thank you all so very much. Oh, and I should mention all these names coming down right here. All of these people are my Patreon supporters at the Jarl tier. This is the reward they get. They get to be in the credits here. All of these people are absolutely incredible. I love you all. I've been calling everyone incredible. You're all incredible, but truly without these people, I wouldn't be able to make this content and to be able to talk with you guys, usually twice a week, doing the podcast and all these things. So thank you to all these people going down here. And just once again, I should specify Patreon supports me as a creator, and then the GoFundMe and the Teespring and everything I just talked about here, that's what supports the community. So those are two separate ideas. The content creation that I do and then the community are two separate entities. So again, thank you all so much to these people. Thank you all so much for this video. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for life and all of this. This is really just a thank you video because I am so humbled and grateful to live this life, to be a pagan with all of you, and to have such dreams of building a Viking long haul, building some stone circles and hailing some old gods. But until that day we get the stone circles and we get the hall and we're sitting around a fire hailing the old gods and drinking some good mead, I say until the hall. Skull.